I have dreams that when I try to visualize them, feel just right specific, like my heart sings. Only problem is I worry constantly, like I can't say diagnosis, but constant, and then I notice the absence. It's like just as good I could get at visualizing and get results quickly, constant worry, and it's
that's because you're good at focusing on what you want, and you're also good at focusing on what you don't want.
Right.
And when you fixate on anything, the vibration of it gets stronger.
And the going back and forth of it is just like, I feel like I'm going crazy because I'm like, I get results somewhat for what I want, and then I worry, and it's just the terror of. Does that
for
make
example,
sense?
yes, it does. Well, it means you want something and you're thinking in opposition to it. But for example.
Shoot.
You know,
It is so many different things. Like
Pick
it
one.
all rounds around people and interaction with people. Period. It's always like I've been wanting to move to Los Angeles for the longest time, but what if I don't get a job? What if I can't afford something? What if it's so many different things to worry about. And
well, your self-sabotage is evident. I want this, but I want this, but I want this, but. So are you saying that you can't find a consistent way to be optimistic?
That too, I can't consistently hold the vibration because I worried.
Well, here's the biggest question that we have for you. Do you need to see the path to go there before you believe you can go? In other words,
not at all. No.
Well, then why aren't you happy in the idea of going?
I do get happy in that, and then I just worry something might screw up.
But when we say the whole idea of the vortex in our pointing your attention to the reality of it is because we know that what you want is there, and we want you to sneak a peek. And so if you believe in the vortex and you believe in the things that you've put there, can you receive consistent satisfaction from what's in there? And for most people, they would say yes, but they mean no, because they want to see it and hear it and smell it and taste it and touch it before they want to see once the path begins to unfold, then it's really fun. Once they can see the means to the end, then they start feeling better. But faith is being able to feel good before you can see the means to the end, before you can see the trail. So that's really what you got to work on. You got to figure out how to feel good before you see the trail, or when it's really, really subtle. Here's another way. We're going to come round about this in a few ways so that you can hear this, because you will hear this. So Esther bought a Tibetan bowl, and it's big and it's beautiful, and it has a tone that actually tunes her whole body when she bangs it. It's really, really a beautiful sound. And she heard us say that once a vibration begins, that it never ends, that your ability to discern it ends, but the vibration is an eternal vibration. So she bangs the bowl, and she stands there, and she can actually feel it in her body for a while. And then as it becomes more and more faint, she moves closer and closer to it until eventually she's got her ear right into the bowl. And she's discovered that 20 minutes later, she can still, with her ears, hear this bowl. So in the same way that we like those words, and Esther liked them too, that the vibration is there, but my ability to hear it is not. That's sort of what going on in your vortex. It's there, but your ability to hear it is not. You're not tuned close enough to it to hear it, you see. And so the reason that you feel fear, or the reason that you feel discouragement, is because you're wanting it to be less subtle and more obvious. And rather than it being less subtle and more obvious, we want you to tune yourself more precisely. Can you hear the difference in that? Because if you will decide that you're going to tune yourself more precisely, this is what Jerry is teaching Esther now, is that he can't be blatant and obvious like he always was. He could walk in a room and cheer her up. She realized he was like her tuning bowl. He was ringing a vibration, and all she had to do was observe it, and she felt good. Now she has to tune more precisely, and it takes attention. Some might say it's harder work. It certainly requires desire and a willingness to try. But you just can't stand back and say, I can't do this, because you can. You can go more general. You can find a way to feel it. And you've got to feel it before you see it, or it can't come.
What do I do about the worry when it happens?
Understand what the worry is. Worry is the indication that you're not doing it. In other words, worry is as good an answer to you as we could give you here. You're all excited. You're going to get to talk to Abraham. Abraham's going to tell you the right answers every single time. But your ability to hear them depends on where you are vibrationally. So your worry is an emotion. It's part of your guidance that's saying, this thought isn't helping. This thought isn't helping. This thought isn't helping. This thought isn't helping. Not you should change this thought, or no, you're wrong to think this thought, or this thought is inappropriate. This thought isn't helping. This focus is setting up a frequency that is keeping you from tuning to what you're really wanting. So what's in your vortex can't flow easily. There are 50 paths of almost no resistance, all lined up to give you a direct route to California. And you can't find them because you say, what am I doing wrong? Or what's causing this? And we say, it doesn't matter what's causing it, cut it out. And you say, well, I'd like to cut it out, but I can't. We say, stop saying that you can't, because you can. All right, I can, but I don't believe it. I can, but I don't believe it. But you can believe it. You can believe it. You can. You can. You just got to try a little harder. That's all.
Try a little harder.
Try a little harder by trying a little less. You know what we mean by that. Don't pretend that you do not. Try harder by focusing less specifically on what's not working. Try to focus more on what is working by not focusing on what doesn't work.
Am I close to what I want? Really?
It doesn't matter how close you are. It's not proximity, it's frequency. So close isn't the right question. Am I vibrationally in the vicinity? When you're happy, you're right there. Okay. When you're fearful, you're far away. So it's not being happy for a moment or being fearful for a moment. It's the consistency of how you feel. You got to prepare your grid, which means fearless. Have less fear. Have more fun. Have less fear. So, well, I can't, because every time I think about it, I feel fear. Then don't think about it. Prepare the grid. Do whatever you can to feel good. Make peace with where you are. Feel appreciation for what is.
Okay. And may I get one last one in?